Hi everyone, this is Mark and my wife Maria.
Hi everyone.
What is today's date, do you know?
It's another Sunday.
Yeah, our calendar now reads Sunday, 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 Sunday. So here we are nearing the end of March. We're in the middle of the pandemic, the coronavirus. So where to start? Well, I'm going to start by simply saying that we are doing what most people are doing. We're self-isolating. Our pantry is well stocked and we're pretty okay here, doing pretty good, all things considered. And I'm in my studio. I'm doing studio work, which feels great. For those of us who do have a studio practice, this is a fantastic time to really take a deep dive, and I'm using this time to do just that. But I'm also having to learn new tools. I'm having to learn online tools. I have about 6 weeks left in my semester at CCA, California College of the Arts. So I am learning Zoom conferencing. I am going to be learning Google Classroom. We'll be getting better and better with pre-recorded lectures and demonstrations, etc. And so I'm looking at this as a great opportunity to learn new tools for teaching and for communicating. We also find ourselves reaching out to family and friends a lot right now, which I'm sure you folks are doing. So that was part of the purpose of this, was to reach out to people who check in with us from time to time and say hello, wishing you're well and safe, taking good care of yourself, and thinking of others right now. It's a good time to think of others.
All around the world.
All around the world.
Yeah.
So I find myself calling people I haven't spoken to for a while and being in close touch with family, etc.
So I do, these are those interesting times and the times of uncertainty. And I just wanted to try to keep this video a little bit more upbeat, because I'm sure that we are all
having our moments.
Yes, concerned and anxious and maybe even scared to some point. But here's what I wanted to point out. Mark was talking about this with his fellow professors and teachers at school, and that same idea applies to the yoga practice that my own yoga practice, but also teaching yoga. And I think we both agree that this is an opportunity for people who are students and in any field, in anything, and are learning from a teacher to also practice what they learned on their own. As Mark likes to say, to be your own teacher. How does that feel?
Well, one of the things I like to say is that all the answers to all of our questions in terms of studio practice, that all of our answers to all of our questions really lies in doing all of our work all the time.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. There's lots to be figured out on our own, but I also want to continue to make myself available to the general public who want to continue learning more about color and design and painting. But I also wanted to interject for a moment a little bit on what Maria said. It's also a time for letting go.
Yes.
It's a huge practice now for many of us, all of us really, in letting go. As Maria mentioned, we canceled the workshops that we had planned here in Benicia, but we had a whole European trip planned with workshops in England and Italy. All of that is
last video was like, come to Italy!
Come to Italy! We're going to do this for sure. And now it's just like letting go. And that's a huge lesson, just a human lesson. It's like, okay, now what? And so it's been educational for me anyway on so many levels. But I want to reach out to people who do hang in there with us on Instagram and Facebook and beyond, to say that I intend to keep teaching, both in person when the dust settles, so to speak, and online in the not too distant future, and to let you all know that. And we're going to continue to put out the newsletter monthly to let people know what we're up to, and hopefully some folks might be interested in joining me in this grand experiment. We're already figuring out syllabus and how the mechanics of this will work. And I'm confident we can do a great job and learn something from this from you too, from all of the artists who we have worked with and will continue to work with.
Yeah. So I think
I'm an optimist. I'm an optimist.
Well, of course. I mean, this will not last forever. And I do want to invite you guys to write in the comments, ideas of what you would like to happen in the next couple of months, 3 months.
Yeah,
so
give us your thoughts.
we are gearing towards probably 8 to 12 weeks of this, and so we want to figure out what we can do to offer Mark's teaching and guidance. But I do want to share something, if I may, on the opposite maybe front of this, and this is what I have been feeling recently, and that is that now everyone is anxious to figure out what the next step is and what do we do next. And personally, I feel more like I just need to step back and stop doing so much, at least for me, because I do feel that I get overwhelmed with what's the next step. So for me, what's really beneficial right now is just to quiet down a little bit, let go of all the plans and let go of trying to desperately make the next plan and replan and
scheming and
sometimes it's just good to take a break, take a breath, and
watch clouds.
Watch some clouds.
Do some cloud watching.
Go.
Very useful.
I haven't actually found myself yet in that moment of like, okay, I'm just chilling. One neighbor posted, he said on Facebook, he said, I can't wait for this to pass so I can just sit home and chill.
Well, I'm personally catching up on some reading, going to my library, looking at books that have been on the shelf that I've meant to read for some time. So I am making use of this sometimes just to relax, and it's a great excuse for those of us who can do this. And again, I feel for those who have to go to work or helping out, but for those of us who are fortunate enough to have this time, I say let's make the best of it.
What would you suggest to artists? Just think, for example, of people who are planning on coming here, learn something new, being excited about going then back in the studio and practice that, and now that's like poof, okay, let go, that's not happening anymore. But how would you what advice would you give them to still do something?
There's first of all, in terms of learning, there's still plenty of resources. The internet is deep and wide with resources. There's also lots of interesting interviews with artists. For instance, I happen, just as an example, to like Sean Scully, the painter, and there's some wonderful interviews of Sean Scully. So there's lots of ways to get inspired. I turn to my library, so if you have a library of art books, now's a great time to really pull some of those off the shelf. And if you'd like to continue to build your library, you can order books online. I mean, there's lots of ways to be creative. The internet's never been so important and powerful. But not just the internet, just going into the studio and playing around. That's part of it too. Go into the studio and play around. This is serious child's play. I've always looked at it that way. We have to be playful. I have to be playful. I shouldn't say we should. But me as an artist, even with all the training I've had, I still think of this self as myself as entering into my work with a sort of innocence that a child would have, like, oh, let me try this. That's not working. Let me try that. So, serious playfulness. That's a paradox, but I believe in it. Serious playfulness. And, we have to, as studio practitioners, I think we have to balance between being serious and being playful. If you're always playful, then you're not taking things seriously. If you're always serious, then you can't be playful. And I think those two have to coexist, even simultaneously. So I would say, have some fun. Get into the studio, make some mistakes, correct them, make some more mistakes, correct them, problem solve. Some problems you'll solve today, and some you'll leave to tomorrow. I've got a piece right now that I've been working on. If I may, to the point.
Yes.
So I've been working on this piece for a while, and it's just given me a lot of problems, and I haven't solved them yet. Can you see it?
Yes.
And so I'm getting there. I'm turning this damn thing, and I just made this big move yesterday. Much of this I feel pretty good about. This, not so much. And I can't tell you how many layers are in this tiny little 12-inch by 12-inch. There's probably 4 or 5 layers of stuff. And every day I chip away at it. So it's not there yet, but I'm patient. And I'll persevere, and I would urge you to be patient and to persevere and to relax and have fun. Makes sense to me. So continue to let us know your thoughts. That's really useful for us. Continue to be in touch with us however you want, via email, mark@markgaines.com, or Instagram or Facebook, and let us know your thoughts. I am looking forward to doing online teaching now. I am now officially drinking the Kool-Aid. Maria has, for a long time, suggested that I consider going down this path, and for many reasons I've resisted, but now it's inevitable. I have to learn it for college, and so it makes sense to reach out to as many artists as possible via online. It will be a work in progress. There will be a learning curve and there'll be mistakes, but ultimately I'm very confident that I'll take this challenge as it is and have fun with it, and hopefully do a really good job with it, with your help.
Follow, if you haven't done so yet, so follow Mark Eanes' social media platforms. So it's Mark Eanes Studio, both on Facebook and Instagram, and sign up for the newsletter if you haven't done so. I actually have to update the website, and the workshops are canceled for now, the ones in Europe for the summer, but we're still planning to be in Port Townsend in August, so hopefully by August this will subside and we will have that workshop going.
And Salt Lake City.
And then
a new venue of Salt Lake City.
We have Salt Lake City for the fall. So stay tuned. It's going to be posted on the website soon. And till next time.
Be well, be safe.
Cheers.
Cheers.